at that. It literally just falls apart. Ooh, look at this. The steak is nice and seared already. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. So today we are going to be making a pot roast, okay? Now, of course, we're gonna make it low carb. It is gonna be weight loss friendly, or if you're trying to eat low carb, low calorie, or just trying to focus on protein. This is a very protein dense meal. Now, you can also use this for meal prepping. This is a meal that tastes really, really well the very next day or throughout the week. So I feel like sometimes we're super busy, we're trying to eat healthy, we're trying to eat low carb, it's like so much. So meals like this just make your life so much easier, okay? So I already started by searing my meat. We're gonna go ahead and finish it off there. I have everything here that we're gonna need. So I feel like sometimes with meals like pot roast, you might feel a little intimidated, or maybe sometimes you just really don't know, but I'm telling you, it is so easy. Now, I have my Dutch oven. You can also make it in a crock pot. You can make it in a pressure cooker. You can even make it in the oven, but we're making it on the stovetop. So in case you don't have any of those gadgets, then you know that you can definitely make it on the stovetop and it turns out just as good, if not better. All right, so we're gonna move over there and I'll show you everything that we're using. Okay, let me go ahead and, in case you're wondering what I'm drinking, I have my electrolytes in here. This is the lemonade. So I'm having the lemonade salt from Element, not only to hydrate, but it also gives me the electrolytes that I need for the whole day. I'm really bad with it. So if you're really bad with hydrating, it's good to get like a supplement, something that you can put like in either a tumbler or even like, you know, those big jugs that hold like 32 ounces and put in like a little packet. It literally has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And of course, it's great for electrolytes, but it's also great for hormonal regulation, which I think that's something that a lot of us miss. And right now you can actually get a sample pack that has all their most popular flavors. So it's their 4 most popular flavors. You get 2 of each flavor with any purchase. So I'll go ahead and leave it linked, or type in drinklmnt.com/low carb love. So either one of those will get you the free sample pack, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna try and finish this by the time I'm done with this, okay? But, okay, so we are going to finish searing this little guy. Now, the searing part of this is so important because you wanna make sure that the flavors lock in. If not, your meat is gonna look kind of grayish, like it's not gonna look like what you are used to seeing in a pot roast, because the searing process is very important. So, we're gonna go ahead, get it like a nice crisp. That's gonna lock in all the flavor. And then we're gonna go ahead and saute the rest of our veggies. And I'm gonna show you my hack. So I do have a hack to make this low carb, but if you're not worried about keeping it low carb and you just want a delicious pot roast recipe, then you can go ahead and use potatoes for this, okay? So let's go ahead and sear this. All right, so look at this. Woo, do you see that? There is like, that's a perfect sear, and that's exactly what you're looking for. So I had already started the process, so I would say maybe about 2 minutes, but this is basically what you're looking for, okay? So depending on your heat, then it's gonna be a little quicker, or it might take a little longer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, just so that I can go ahead and saute my onions and all my veggies. Ooh, look at that, oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'm so excited about this meal, by the way. One, because I just need the protein, and this is just a really easy way to get protein. This is just a very like keto friendly, it's like a crowd pleasing meal. Everybody loves it. You can serve it with mashed potatoes. If you're really trying to keep it super low carb, make a cauli mash. And then of course your pot roast. Some people even do like mac and cheese with like it's just like a very much a comfort food, but there are ways, guys, there are hacks to make it low carb and weight loss friendly, okay? So we are now gonna saute our veggies. So we're gonna start off with the onion, okay? Good amount of onion. We're also going to do our garlic. Okay, we have our celery. Okay, our carrots. Okay, and then this is the hack right here. Okay, so I don't know if you know what a chayote is. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I use it. I even substitute like chayote for apples. and I make like sweet desserts with it. It's you can literally use this sweet or savory. It's a very neutral tasting veggie. Now I'm gonna use this in replacement of the ¿cómo se dice? In replacement of the potatoes. But if you're not a big fan, or you're just like, no, I don't want to do that, then just omit it. You can still use, you know, still use your veggies, the rest of the veggies, and just not put potatoes. Or you add them and then just give them to your family, and you know, if you're the one that's trying to stay low carb. But this is, again, a very weight loss friendly meal. So filling, it is so satiating, because you are gonna get like the healthy fats from the meat, and then of course you're also doing the protein, so it's like a combination of the protein and the healthy fats. I'm telling you, you stay full for hours and hours. This is a great lunch, it's a great dinner. It's actually a great dinner, and then you take it, you know, you have it the next day for lunch. I am definitely a leftovers girl. Like, I love eating leftovers, especially when it's a meal that I really, really like, and this is one of them. So now what we're gonna do is add in all the sabor, okay? All the flavor. Now, of course, this is a lot of flavor. It's our veggies, yes, but we need our seasoning. So, garlic powder. You're also gonna do some onion powder. I don't have it with me. I left it at home, okay? So we are, luckily I did the sauteed onion, so that's going to give us some flavor. We're also doing some paprika. Then we have our bay leaves. And you're just gonna add everything to your pot, okay? We're gonna do 3. And we're gonna do some Worcestershire sauce. This is important, even though, like for me, I've never been one to really cook with it, but you do need it. So I'm gonna make a little hole, like a little well right here, because we need this bad boy right here. This is super important. Like, you actually do need this. So tomato paste is very important. Now, I feel like this is a very basic recipe. You probably can add additional ingredients, but this is like a great base. And I feel like it's just a very well-balanced pot roast. Like, I've tried a lot of pot roasts, and this one is one of my favorites because it doesn't have like too much of this or that. It just tastes like a very well-balanced pot roast that you would order at a restaurant. Okay, and now we go in with our broth. If you have bone broth and you wanna add even more nutrients to it, then add it. I'm waiting for my box to get here, so I had to pick up some beef broth at the store. But if you have bone broth, then that just adds to the nutrition. And I do feel like we need a little more liquid, so I'm gonna do 2 of these 32 ounces of beef broth. And I didn't show you, but I actually have 2 pieces of meat, okay? So we are going to go ahead and toss this on. Wait, this is gonna be so tender, I could already tell. I'm gonna toss it right on top. Throw in the juices. Let's just flavor. And we have piece number 2. And this is it. This is one of those meals where you can literally just toss everything in. Obviously, I was talking to you and kind of explaining, but usually if you already have all your stuff, boom, throw it all in. You could even do like rough chops, because once it cooks, everything's gonna be really tender. But I diced it a little more just to obviously show you exactly what I was putting in there. But this is a very, very simple recipe that is super, super nutritious and super high in protein. As you can tell, it is also very weight loss friendly. So there's just like so many benefits to it. But on top of all of that, it's just like the best comfort food. This is definitely like one of those meals that you'll want to have like when it's cold and you're just like wanting something warm and hearty. Because, you know, I don't know what it is about the winter time, but like during the winter, I always want things that are like a little heavier. Like, I start steering away from like salad to more of like, you know, I'll do like stews. I love like beef stew, chicken soup. Most of them are like a Mexican version of them. So like caldo de pollo, caldo de res. I do all of those, but this is one of my favorites that's like American, and it just has like the most delicious flavor. So I cannot wait for you to make it. So now that everything is in there, okay, we're gonna go ahead and cover it. And this is actually gonna go from the stove. That's why I'm using the Dutch oven, which is cast iron. It goes right into the oven, okay? Okay, there we go, 325. So this is gonna go ahead and cook for about 2 to 3 hours, okay? And then just wait until I show you the texture of this meat. Like, you will understand the hype around this recipe, okay? Super easy and so delicious. All right, guys, so I ended up leaving it almost about 3 hours. okay? Because I've been doing other things around here. So let's move it over to the stove so that you can take a look at it. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what you want to see. How exciting is that? Wow, this is what we're talking about here. So when you let it cook for a little longer, this is what you're gonna get. Like literal butter, okay? Look at that. It literally just falls apart. This is exactly what you're looking for. And by the way, the meat that I used for this is chuck. So it was just like these chuck steaks. I actually got them on sale. But you could also do like a chuck roast. A chuck roast would work really, really well for this. This here looks phenomenal. Obviously, the only thing left to do is to plate this baby. So let me go ahead and get this served. And then I'm just gonna serve it in a bowl. I didn't make mashed potatoes, but like, of course, this is a dish that goes perfectly well with like some creamy mashed potatoes, and then you serve this on top and it's like delicious. But of course, we're gonna keep it low carb and we're just gonna serve it as is, and it's gonna be perfect. All right, guys, so look at this beauty. I mean, obviously you would serve this with a nice and creamy mashed potato. That is like the traditional way. If you are not watching your carbs, you're doing this for like the holidays, and you might even bust out some dinner rolls, or maybe even just like a little sourdough with some butter. That's just traditionally how it's served. But of course, we're keeping it low carb here. We're keeping it weight loss friendly. So today I just served a nice bowl. This is exactly how I would eat it, and that is the honest truth. Unless it was like a very special occasion where, you know, we would make those sides like I just mentioned. But other than that, look at this. It is so hearty. You have a really good amount of protein. So this is a very, very high protein meal. If you add bone broth instead of water or instead of your beef broth, then that's adding, I think it's 20 grams of protein per like little container. If you do the big ones, you add 2 of those, that's 80 extra grams of protein. So this would just be like a ridiculously nutrient dense dinner. And the good thing about this is, again, like I mentioned, you can do it like for a meal prep. This is something that you can heat up tomorrow. It's still gonna be just as good, if not better, because like all the juices just kind of like get just like more concentrated, you know what I mean? So anyway, here you go. And of course, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to get the perfect bite. So we have a little bit of everything. We have some chayote, which is replacing our potato. We have our carrot, a little bit of celery, and of course, the carne, the meat that is buttery soft. So cheers. Guys, the flavor of the meat. This is delicious. I'm telling you, it's one of those things where you make it and then you just have to kind of, it's like you do need to be patient, because the longer you cook it for, the softer, the more tender the meat is. The chayote literally tastes like potato. Sometimes you think like, oh, I'm not using like in this case, like the potato, you think like it'd take away from the experience. Absolutely not. I think the star of the show here is obviously the meat, like how tender it is, because I think with meat, that's one of the things, like if this were to be tough, I think it would definitely take away from the experience. The juice, the broth, everything is just so rich. It's just a perfect meal. And for a cold day, holidays, what else? I would say just like whenever you're really just craving like a hearty meal, this is the perfect dish. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna leave the recipe in the description below. Obviously, it's a very easy recipe, but if you are someone that wants to follow step by step, then I will go ahead and leave it linked for you. But if you guys like this video, you guys like this idea, please show me some love. Make sure you hit that like button. And guys, don't forget, please share this video, share my channel with your friends and family. Remember, I also have a meal plan. So I have a weight loss guide. If you are stuck, if you're trying to get started on your weight loss journey, or maybe you have friends or family that are also in that place, please share that with them. You never know, it could be really, really helpful. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.